This is the Realcook charcoal grill with offset smoker. If you're thinking about picking one up, I just want to walk you through my experience with it. I've been using it as a backyard charcoal grill and smoker, mostly for weekend cooking, small family meals, and a few get-togethers where I needed more space than a basic round charcoal grill. The main reason I wanted this style of grill was the offset smoker box. I like regular charcoal grilling, but I also wanted to try slower cooks without buying a separate smoker. This one gives me both in one setup. I can grill burgers, chicken, sausage, and vegetables in the main barrel, and I can use the side firebox when I want smoke and indirect heat. The size feels right for a normal backyard setup. It is not a huge competition-style smoker, and it does not feel like something made for feeding a big crowd all day. But for my use, it has been enough. I can cook for about 4 to 6 people without feeling cramped. I've done burgers across the main grate, kept buns on the warming rack, and used the firebox for smoke at the same time. One thing I noticed right away is that the cooking space sounds bigger on paper than it feels in real use. The full number includes different cooking areas, like the main grill area, warming rack, and side firebox. The main barrel is the space I use the most. It is roomy enough, but I still have to arrange food carefully if I'm cooking a full meal. Setup took some time, but it was not confusing. I put the legs, wheels, shelves, firebox, chimney, handles, and grates together using the instructions. I would not call it hard, but it is easier if I lay everything out before starting. Some parts are light enough to handle alone, but having another person nearby would make it easier, especially when lining up the firebox. Once it was assembled, it felt stable enough for normal use. It is not built like a very heavy smoker, and I could tell the metal is thinner than some more expensive offset smokers I've seen. That does make it easier to move around, though. The wheels help a lot. I can tilt it and roll it across the patio without much trouble. The black finish looks clean, but I try not to scrape it. Like most painted charcoal grills, scratches can turn into rust spots if I ignore them. I keep it covered when I'm not using it, and I clean out ash after each cook. I've learned that leaving ash sitting inside any charcoal grill is a bad idea because it holds moisture. Starting it is pretty simple if I use a chimney starter. I load the charcoal, let it ash over, and then move it into the main chamber or the side firebox depending on what I'm cooking. I don't like using lighter fluid unless I have to, because I can smell it if I'm not careful. With a chimney, the fire starts cleaner and I have more control. For direct grilling, it works like a basic charcoal grill. The main chamber gets hot enough for burgers, chicken thighs, hot dogs, and steaks. I had to get used to where the hotter spots are. The area closer to the firebox can run warmer when I'm using the offset side. That is normal for this type of grill, but it is something I pay attention to. Smoking takes more patience. This is not something I just light and forget. I have to watch the vents, check the thermometer, and add charcoal when the heat starts dropping. The intake vent on the firebox and the chimney damper help control the airflow. Opening them raises the heat, and closing them slows the fire down. It sounds simple, but it took me a few cooks to get comfortable with it. The built-in thermometer is useful, but I still like using a separate probe thermometer for meat. The lid thermometer gives me a general idea of what is happening inside the barrel. It is good for quick checks, but it does not tell me exactly what the meat is doing. For ribs, chicken, or pork shoulder, I trust a meat thermometer more. The smoke flavor is the main reason I keep using it. When I add wood chunks to the charcoal in the side box, the food gets that real charcoal smoke taste. I've used applewood and hickory, and both worked well. I don't overdo it because too much wood can make the food taste bitter. A small amount goes a long way. Compared to a simple kettle grill, this takes more space and more attention. A kettle is easier if I just want a quick dinner. But this Realcook setup gives me more room and lets me smoke food without trying to create a 2-zone setup inside a small round grill. Compared to heavier offset smokers I've used or seen, this one is easier to move and costs less, but it also does not hold heat as steadily as a thicker steel smoker. That is probably the biggest downside for me. On longer cooks, I have to manage the fire more often. If the weather is windy or cool, the temperature can move around. I can still get good results, but I need to stay involved. If I wanted something that holds temperature for hours with very little work, I would look at a heavier smoker or maybe a pellet grill. Cleaning is not bad, but it has to be done. After it cools down, I remove the ash and brush the grates. The grates come out, which makes it easier. I also wipe the shelves when grease or sauce gets on them. The front shelf is useful while cooking, especially for holding tongs, a tray, or seasoning. The bottom rack is good for keeping charcoal nearby, but I don't leave anything there long-term if rain is coming. The handles are comfortable enough, but I still use gloves. The main lid handle does not get as hot as the metal body, but around a charcoal grill, I don't take chances. The firebox can get hot fast, and I've learned to keep tools and gloves close by. Before buying this, I was worried it might be too small or too flimsy. After using it, I'd say it is fine for casual backyard cooking. It is not a thick, heavy smoker, and I would not expect it to perform like one. But for burgers, chicken, ribs, and learning how to smoke with charcoal, it does the job. I think this is good for someone who enjoys the process of charcoal cooking. If I want quick food with no effort, this is not the grill I reach for. If I want to spend time outside, manage the fire, add wood, and cook slowly, then it makes sense. It is also a good fit for a small family or someone who has friends over once in a while. So my relaxed take is this. The Realcook charcoal grill with offset smoker is a simple charcoal grill and smoker combo that works well if I treat it like what it is. It needs assembly, cleaning, and fire management. It gives me good smoke flavor, decent cooking space, and enough control for weekend barbecue at home. If you have questions about how it cooks, how much food fits, or what setup worked for me, leave them in the comments. You can view detailed information about the Realcook charcoal grill with offset smoker in the comments section. Thank you for watching.